Hey guys, what's up? Today we are going to be taking a look at how to build a list of HVAC companies that currently spend money on marketing. I just got off a call where somebody was interested in HVAC and alarm system companies, so I'm going to dive in and show everybody how you can build a list very similar to that one. Um, the reason you might want the marketing aspect on this, and if it's not relevant to your business, you don't have to, but it's kind of a unique sales signal for many businesses to say that, hey, if this company's spending money on marketing, they're investing in their own business. So even if you sell a B2B service of some kind that's not necessarily marketing, there's definitely value in knowing that they're investing in their own marketing, because if they spend money on marketing, they'll definitely spend money on their operations. So even if you're an operations service based product, whatever it may be, there's value in knowing that the company is investing in themselves, opposed to just being an HVAC company that's done things the same way year over year and they're not looking to change what they have, right? Somebody's going to be much more receptive to a sales pitch for something that's going to help their business from the outside if they're constantly investing in their own business anyway. And you can tell that through somebody who's investing in marketing, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So we will go with a screen share here to dive in and check this out. Okay, so we're going to go over to my Coldlytics account. Just want to make sure you guys are seeing my screen. Looks like it's just loading up here, so I'll give it a second. Let me try to relaunch the screen share. I want to make sure everybody can see that. So screen, we'll launch entire screen. Here we go, and share. Perfect. Okay. So over to Coldlytics, we're going to click on new task. If you don't have an account yet, go to coldlytics.com and create your free account. You can follow along with this video. It doesn't cost anything to create your account, so you can play around in here for free. And you can save this as a draft. And what's unique about this is, even if you're not ready to sign up and buy a list today, by creating this draft and following along with this video, you can have something documented somewhere for your business that says, this is how we identify our ideal customers in the future when we need to do outbound marketing. So it's extremely valuable to know who your ideal customer is and how to have data points that you can find on those ideal customers in the business specifically. Even if you're not doing outbound marketing yet, like, this is a good exercise to do for your own business. So again, if it's not HVAC, you could carry this into a different industry as well. Let's set our country to United States. You can set country, or you can do state or city. We can do any English speaking countries. You can focus on Canada or the UK, for example. We'll set our industry to HVAC here, and we'll click add, and then we'll go with alarm companies as well. So maybe you're into kind of like low voltage or home automation. You could even look for like home automation as a keyword as well if you wanted. You can get pretty granular with your search terms here and see what comes up. So let's add these terms in here, and we'll click the next button. We'll set our seniority level to owners and founders. And if we can't find one, a director or executive would do well. And then if you're in a service-based type business where you're not necessarily offering marketing services, but something else, operations related, you could enter, let's say you're looking for the director of operations or something, you could enter an operations title in here. Or if you're something related to HR, you could put the HR title in here, and we'll try to find somebody at that level as well. Let's go ahead and click that next button. We're going to get into the filters, because this is where we're going to get into what we were talking about, identifying companies who invest in themselves. So let's start with our firmographics. We're going to scroll all the way down to advertisers, and we're going to select advertises on Facebook. Yes. We'll set this next parameter to or advertises on Google. Yes. And we're going to add LinkedIn here too. So or advertises on LinkedIn. So if they're advertising on one of these three platforms, obviously they're investing in their business, and that is a very strong signal for you as a salesperson or company owner trying to find prospects that will adopt your service or product. Let's come down here to the filter button again. There's a couple things that we can add that might be useful to you as well, like date established. Oftentimes startups and new companies aren't great prospects. They're either probably your target market, or they're not a great customer at all. So if you're looking for companies that have been around a little while and that have shown that they're going to stick around with just the amount of time they've been in business, let's go ahead and set the maximum to, we don't want companies any newer than, let's go 2018. So that way we'll get companies 5 years or older. We have a couple of other options here too. We could come in and filter it by the headcount of those businesses and the revenue. And you can set the parameters on those. So let's look at revenue for a second. We could say that they need to be doing 5 million or more per year. And maybe their headcount is that they've got 10 or more employees, right? So there's 10 people working in the business or more. So now we've got a really nice parameter on a HVAC or low voltage or home automation, alarm company, whatever, that is investing in themselves, that has been around for more than 5 years, is doing more than 5 million a year in revenue, and has more than 10 employees. This is a fantastic way to qualify a lead for your own business for the future. And knowing that doing this exercise for yourself, even if you don't get this list, you can look at this and say, hey, we know that when we're talking to our ideal customers or we're creating other marketing materials, we can always reference this list that you could save as a draft by clicking on the 3 dots here, as how we can think about and find more of our ideal customers online using data that's actually available, instead of like, Bob probably has 4 kids and he owns this company and he graduated from such and such a school and he took such and such a major at that school. Like, those are interesting data points to know, but in my experience, they're very, very difficult to find, if possible at all. How are you going to know how many kids somebody has, or what suburb they live in? Like, those things are interesting to get insight on, but they're not scalable for doing cold outreach. So if you're building an ideal customer profile like we just did here, you want to follow any of the filters that you can use from Coldlytics, because you know that we can get direct data points or direct data related to those parameters. So it's very important to kind of think of your prospects in a way that you can find more of them online. Because if you haven't this information about an ideal customer that you can't find, then it's useless to you to know those things about them. We'll click on the plus button here. We're going to click on deliver now, and we'll get into the data points that we're going to collect. So we've got the first and last name of the contact by default, of course, the company name, their job title at the company. We've got their email address and the company website, and we have the address for the business. Then on the left-hand side, we can add more of these data points. These selected column, these are going to become column headers on our spreadsheet that we're going to provide you with after we create this list. So you can get their LinkedIn profile if they have one, the phone number for the business, what their scores are on Google, the review count, all of that, how many stars they have if they've claimed their Google business profile. The mobile number or direct dial for the business, we can get that too. Links to their social media, data around the revenue, headcount, and age of the company that we discussed earlier. If they have advertising pixels installed on their website, we can detect that and tell you if they're there or not. We can tell you if they've got Google Analytics installed, if they have a checkout on their website, so if they're an e-commerce company as well, if they're built on WordPress, how fast or slow their website might be. And we can filter by this one too. So if you're running an SEO agency and you want to find slow WordPress sites, filter for WordPress built websites under our technologies filter and use the page speed filter for companies that load slower than 2 seconds, for example. Then we can also tell you what the search term is we used on Google Maps when we found that company, where we searched for it, and what their position on Google was when we found them in the Google Business Profile listings. We'll click on the next button and we'll click on finish. We'll give this a quick name. We'll call it HVAC and low voltage. And then we'll set our list to maybe 1,000 leads or 100, whatever works. And then max contacts per company. Let's jack this up. Let's go with 3. So we know we're going to find an entry point to this company. The first person might not work for us, but maybe the second or third, if we can find one for that company, will. So if all this looks good, we'll come over and click the launch button just like this. And you'll be able to see that it's now being allocated to our team. So the best team member for this type of research is going to get assigned to this task. So that way we can find as many leads as possible for you. So I'll stop sharing my screen. I'll jump back over to our screen and answer any questions that you guys might have in the live chat or in the comments after this recording goes live or gets published as a recording. So appreciate you guys watching this. Again, what we've done here is we built an ideal customer profile for low voltage or HVAC companies. It fits any niche, though. You can apply this video to any industry that you're in. And by identifying companies that are investing in themselves, by looking for people who are already advertising online, means that when you try to sell your service to that business or your product to that business, you're far more likely to get a conversion or get a sales conversation going. Because every single month that company's putting out money to make their company more profitable or grow, etc. So if you guys have questions on this, please don't hesitate to ask. Happy to answer and help any way we can. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic rest of your week ahead, guys. And happy Thanksgiving to my friends in America.